Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another session of Make Our World Your Runway. This is a show that is about pageantry, modeling, fashion, music, business, any industry that you are in. You can make our world your runway. And as always, we always have a few reminders before I do introduce my next guest. We want to remind everyone to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel so you can see and view Make Our World Your Runway and also the Global Trade Chamber success stories. The 100 Successful Women in Business book is available. It's at Amazon and Target, and I highly recommend that you pick up a copy and read the amazing stories and accomplishments of all the women are in there. I'm also in there myself, but it's unbelievable the stories that you will read of all the successful women's. Available every Monday, the Global Trade Chamber magazine. There's some fabulous stories in there, not only in women, but opportunities about business. You will love it. I read it every Monday. I highly recommend that you do read that as well. And registrations are now open for the next round of awards for the 100 Successful Women in Business, which is going to take place in London, England this year, August 24th through the 28th. One event you do not want to miss. If you are a successful woman who has amazing accomplishments, do not hesitate to nominate yourself or someone that you know. It's going to be a fabulous event, and I hope you will join us in merry old London, England. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to circle the globe again. We are going back to India. I have a fabulous guest. She's our current reigning Miss Teen International World, and she's the holder of the prestigious Miss International World Teen title, which we just said, and she was the first place winner of the International Glamour Project. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mehak Sharma to Make Our World Your Runway. Hi, Mehak.
Good
How are
afternoon.
you? Yes, I know in India we always do
good.
that.
Yes, namaste.
You know, they
So
do
you
that.
look gorgeous.
Oh, well, thank you. You look beautiful. You know, they do that in Japan. They do this. And when they say thank you, my husband speaks a little bit of Japanese. They say domenigato. So that has a lot of different reasons. So if you're ever in Japan or you meet somebody that's Japanese, that's what you can say. And just say domenigato. So
Okay, noted.
We're giving you a little bit of education from around the world today. But anyway, we are so honored this July to welcome you to the Miss International World Pageant 2022 as our Miss Teen International World India. You've also won the first place winner at the International Glamour Project. And from what I could see, you are ambitious, you're confident, you're definitely a driving force in the world of pageantry, and you've got a lot of spark and aura about you. So you've got a great mentor, Dr. 𝐩𝐿. So tell us, why did you get involved with pageantry? What was the reason, and what are some of the things that you're doing with your title?
Yes, sure. So actually, it's a funny story. I wasn't really familiar with the glamour world, but what happened is that my 8-year-old brother had made a small crown. So it was handmade and it was articulated by him, and it was basically made of cardboard and toilet paper. So what he did one day is that he came up to me and said, yes, actually, he was very fascinated by it. And, he just wouldn't let it go. So one day he came up to me and said that maybe if you could get me this crown that is shown in this advertisement. So we just came across this ad in the social media, and it was the International Glamour Project ad. So he told me that if you could give me this crown, then I would be able to give you my crown. and of course, I mean, such a deal coming off from an 8-year-old boy was intriguing for me. So so yeah, I happily agreed. And then I enrolled into pageantry. And then once we started with our training sessions, once I got to meet Akshata ma'am, Dr. Akshata, and Dr. Swaroop Puranik,
Yes.
it was beautiful. The
Oh, yeah.
journey was interesting. And there was a complete transformation. Actually, there was a mental revolution within me. I got to learn so many things that I wasn't familiar with. I was actually initially a scholar type of girl, a typical teenager, a nerd, you can say. Um, but one day they made me look in front of the mirror, just open my hair, remove my glasses, and see that queen. And they
Yes.
told me that you are already wearing a crown. You need to give this a shot. And
Well,
once I got invested into those training sessions, it was a smooth ride onwards. My words are my power, and so is my mind. And I utilize them in the most resourceful manner possible. And today I'm here. So yes, it has been a
unbelievable.
wonderful journey.
Unbelievable. That's a fantastic story, an amazing journey on how you got to the crown. And I could totally understand that. Something I've also read on your bio where it says you were a sizzling model and a fantastic dancer. Well, you and I have something very much in common. I'm a professional singer, but I also at one time was a professional dancer. And I had the distinct and wonderful honor and opportunity to study with Maximum Tsiolkovsky from Dancing with the Stars. Okay. That was an amazing opportunity for me. I mean, I've studied with a lot of great teachers, but that was like the highlight of my career. And I'm not going to say I'm a Max, but I definitely got on the dance floor and I got some moves. So tell us about your dancing, because you say you're a fantastic dancer. What have you done with that?
Well, you can say I was 3 years old when I was just put on the stage, and I have literally no stage fear now because I have been dancing my entire life. My parents, they initially started making me do it, but after that, I mean, once I got to know hip hop, which is my signature style, so what I do is I mix the Indian pop culture with hip hop, so it's kind of a fusion and you just literally flow to it. It's brilliant. I mean, you lose yourself in the rhythm, and it is so worth it to 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 just flow with the music. So yes, and I've also heard that you are that you have taken training in jazz as well. So that was one of the things that I really wanted to ask you because I really like jazz music, and I have been only hearing some short clips of it in I guess a few of the trending pop songs, but I would really like to learn more, and I would really like to learn how to move to jazz. So I'm open to learning more, and there are a lot of horizons to cover, even in the dancing area. Yes, that's how it is.
No, that's great. And let me tell you something. You know, many, many years ago, when I studied music, I was just studying vocal music. And then I finally had switched instructors. And I also had a manager that had said to me, you better start taking some dancing. And I couldn't understand that because I basically was a singer. But what the dancing did, it helped me move more on stage. And even when I got into the world of pageantry, believe it or not, it will help you walk. And it just opens up the mind when you learn those moves. Now, you said something about jazz. Jazz is a great way of dancing, okay, because you can reflect a lot of personality with jazz, right? Jazz is a lot with your feet, but it's a lot with your hands. I mean, if you're coming up and doing this, okay, and you're turning your head or whatever, you're actually showing your emotions. You're actually able to feel that music. So now, besides feeling the music, you've got the audience engaged with what you are doing. So when you come to the States, I have no problem giving you a couple of jazz lessons. That is very, very easy to do. Okay. And you will love it. The fact that you are a dancer, you'll pick it up very, very fast. And you're going to see when you have a little bit of jazz background behind you, how easy it is to really walk the runway, because you'll be walking the runway and you'll be listening to the music. Starts all of a sudden start snapping your fingers, and it will just come to you. It will flow. So I'm so glad that you said that. I'd be more than happy to mentor you on that. That's absolutely not a problem. Okay. And she might get a little upset if I say this, but I don't know if you ever saw Dr. Akshata dance. She could move. I saw her last year at the pageant. She can move as a dancer. So she might get upset that I've said that, maybe letting a cat out of the bag, but she's absolutely fantastic. But also I've read that your mother, your mother like daughter, it seems that your mother's been a big inspiration to you. So tell us a little bit about, you know, the relationship you have with your mom and how and why she was an inspiration to you.
Well, my mother has been an inspiration to me in a lot of ways. And you can actually see my voice get deep when I talk about my mother because even thinking of her just calms me down. You know, uh, the main thing, the the main thing that she has taught me, one of the things that I will not forget throughout my life, is how to think outside the box, how to set
Perfect.
yourself apart. Yes, and she encouraged me, and basically she taught me to look at myself for myself. That I don't, when I'm dressing up, I'm dressing up for myself. When I'm doing my makeup, I'm doing it to look beautiful. When I'm speaking, I need to be set apart in the way that I walk and in the way that I speak. And that excitement, that energy, that aura around a queen, it needs to be separate. So she has taught me these wonderful things. And as you mentioned, while doing the ramp walking also, I think yes, during our TIGP grand finale, when we were doing our ramp walk, we had, since the ramp walk is basically about 10 seconds, 10 to max 20 seconds, what we need to do is we need to show who we are with our looks, with our eyes. We have to speak with our face
Yes.
without moving our lips. So that is also something that my mother has taught me to do. So, you have to give that fierce look and you have to show that ambition. And I was able to do that. And my mother had a really huge part to play in that. She taught me that. She and Dr. Akshata.
Yes. And that's absolutely amazing. You know, it's funny you should say that because many years ago when I was competing in a lot of musical competitions, and I had a very funny habit. I mean, you know your competition is out there, but the habit I had, I would always look at my competition, and it would start to kind of bring me down, and I wouldn't do well. And finally, my husband, who was a former model and loves this business, when we got married, he said to me, he said, "You've got to get out there and turn this around. Know that your competition is there, but don't dwell on it." He said, "Because you are a talent. Let them fear you and start looking at you." He said, "But don't worry about what's around you. Go out there, have fun, and do what you can do best." And when I did that, things started to turn around for me and now I'm able to do that. I know I've got competition out there. And do I embrace it? Yes, but I don't dwell on it because I know what I can do. So I just go out there now, headstrong, just keep my nose to the ground, and I'm able to do things a lot better. So what you said about your mother encouraging you that way, that's the best advice you could have gotten. Okay. And I've seen that you have taken that and you're running with that, and that's what's going to make you very successful. And the fact that you've had Dr. Akshata as your mentor and your pageant coach, you're well on your way to becoming very successful. I see a very, very bright future for you. You're young. Don't let anything deter you. Are you going to have you're going to have a lot of successes, but have some failures along the way? Yes, you will. I've had many of them. But it's the failures that make you very successful. So never be afraid to fall back, because when you fall back, you have to say to yourself, okay, you know what? I've had a few mistakes. Let me look at these mistakes. What can I do better? And just go forward from there. And you'll find that success will always be your middle name. So I'm very, very proud that you've said that. Also, another thing I see that Priyanka Chopra is one of your idols. She's a great actress. Okay. So why did you choose her? I mean, she's beautiful. I think I can understand it, but I want to get it from you.
Well, one of the major reasons that I look at her as my role model is because she has that passion, she has that
Yes.
hunger. She says that she wants to conquer the world. She wants to show her talent and she wants to be a global leader. So that is one of the things that really rattled me because I think that no national boundaries, no outside territories can stop you because your success just more than what it is now. There's a lot to do, there's a lot to learn, and I don't think that we really need to stop. Uh, yes, we need to stop and we need to be happy and we need to look at what we have, but we always need to keep striving for more. And Priyanka Chopra is just a living, breathing example of that. And I think, yes, that is one of the major reasons.
Yes, she is. I followed her career a lot. She's very much she's not only a fashionista, but yes, she's very much into women's empowerment. And yes, she does want to conquer the world. And I can see that. She's the type of a woman that will conquer the world. And something I also read that you and your mother are very much into women's empowerment. And that's basically what Miss International World is all about, women's empowerment. So when we talk about that, what is your vision for women as far as empowering women, not only in India, but around the world? So if you were to win the title of Teen International World, what would you do to embrace that? Or how would you promote women's empowerment?
Women's empowerment is basically understanding that beauty goes beyond skin deep and basically goes beyond the surface. So it is more on a mental health level that
Yes.
we need to make each other see that we are unique and that we are beautiful and that we don't need anyone to define it. We are all just so different, but we are all just gems, you know. And and the ways that I plan to use my title to support and encourage my cause, it's basically is to use my is to make full use of my charitable trust. Actually, it's my parents' charitable trust. Uh, so we have very few women coming in for cadetship, for going to ships and basically being recruited for Navy. So I would like to give them. We would like to organize free training sessions to make them
Fabulous.
see that yes, that women's empowerment is even a broader concept than feminism. What we need right here is to stand together. And of course, there is no greater joy. There is truly no greater joy than giving and making other people realize their worth. Because when you make someone see that, and when they're able to break the shackles and stand on their feet, when they're able
Yes.
to do that, the one who really feels happy. It is just like being at the top of the world. So
Exactly.
yes,
I applaud you for what you're saying. And women have come a long way. I mean, the other night, and this is something that's done here in the United States, and I know it's done in other countries, but our president of the United States gave what was called the State of the Union, which every president does every year. Now, before the president came into the Congress chamber, they introduced the Speaker of the House and the Vice President of the United States. And it's something we're seeing now, and I thought I'd never see it in my lifetime, and it may be another lifetime. But there was two women behind the president, the Speaker of the House and the Vice President of the United States. And for a moment, I said to myself, this is not about politics. This is about women's empowerment. You can see two women in very powerful positions. I mean, the Speaker of the House is almost like being President of the United States. And then you've got the Vice President. It's like, wow, women are conquering the world. It's amazing. One woman that I do remember that I love from your country was Indira Gandhi. She changed the vision of women. I remember I was young at the time, and President Johnson was the president of the United States. He was so impressed with her that he invited her to the White House for a state dinner. And that was a turning point for me because here was a woman from a country that wasn't that highly recognized back then. Now India really has its rightful place in the world, and I see India really becoming like one of the top countries in the world. And here was Indira Gandhi, who just changed that whole country around and was sitting at the table with the president of the United States. So you ladies in India should be very proud of yourselves, because look at a woman like that. Look at yourself. Look at Akshata. You ladies are changing the world. So you should be very proud. And I'm very happy the way you spoke about women's empowerment and how you want to do sessions on that. And you know what? I'd be more than happy to take a session with you, because I always say, no matter how old we get or where we are, you can always learn something new. So thank you for the things that you've said.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for acknowledging them.
Oh, absolutely. And I do not like to get political, but you know, we've got a grave situation going around in the world right now. Europe seems to be at war. Okay. It's not something that a lot of us want to get, a lot of countries want to get involved in, because we don't want to start World War III. And that wouldn't be good for any of us. But what would you say right now that we're on women's empowerment, women and children that are going through this terrible ordeal? What would you say to them right now?
I would say that, yes, what is happening is unfortunate and maybe unforeseen to some extent. But what we need to do is just hold on and put that aggression on a back leash.
Yes.
Tell ourselves to really stop and look at what we are encouraging if we engage in this. Because a war, there are no winners in a war.
No.
It never satisfies anyone. Nobody benefits from war.
No.
So
no one does.
I think yes, completely. And I would like to thank every nation and basically every individual who is sitting patiently and who is holding back on that anger and calming themselves and telling themselves, that the situation is going to be better. So maybe just hold on a bit long. And
Exactly.
I would like to request everyone who is a part of this to maybe just stop, take a 20-second silence and look at what we are working towards right now. And that it's not a destination, it's a hellhole. And, and
exactly.
Stop right there.
Exactly. I agree with you. No one wins in war. You gave a perfect answer. And I always say, problems are man-made, therefore they can be solved by man. So you're right. We have to take a step backwards, hang in there a little bit longer, and I think things will come together. That was definitely a perfect answer. So with all the things that you do, and I know you have school and you're involved with the pageant and all your training set, what do you do in your spare time? I mean, what do you really do for enjoyment besides dancing?
Well, actually, what I do for my enjoyment is kind of different. It's not something that you'd find every third person do, but I just put on earphones and I introspect. So I take those powerful songs, maybe Sia songs like Unstoppable or something like that. So I just think about what I did during my day and what I want to do tomorrow, and that I have to keep on going. So I'm juggling multiple things right now, with my academics, with my potential college life, and with pageantry, and I actually have a gift of being of getting, how shall I frame it? Okay, so being spontaneously inspired by business ideas. So I have a book. I have 54 of them and still counting. So yes, I do a lot of things. So I need to thank myself. I need to introspect. I need to retrospect. And I need to tell myself that I have done all of these things today, and tomorrow I will do all of these things. So I just want to say that I am proud of myself, and that I need to keep that compassion alive.
Yes.
Yes, and I just say those things. give myself a pep talk, a self-talk that makes me feel good, that makes me feel encouraged, and that I'm ready for tomorrow. Basically, so
Yeah,
that 1 hour really matters.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I do that too. People say to me, I'm always on the go and I'm so busy. They say, what do you do to relax? And I'm the same way. Music. I get right into it. And I like that song also, Unstoppable. I'll listen to something like that. Saturday nights, we have one channel. I'm a science fiction bug. Okay. Any movie that's about science fiction, I love. And on Saturday nights, if I'm not going anywhere, we have one channel that plays science fiction all night long. That's exactly where I am. That's how I unwind. I get into like another world and I say, geez, can you imagine if something like this would happen? But I know it's just a movie, but that's exactly what I do. So yeah, I understand that. Sometimes you just have to take that hour or two or a half a day and just unwind a little bit. And like you said, I'm going to do this today, but tomorrow I'm going to go on to something else. And that's the best way to get through things. So, and now you mentioned college. What exactly will you be going to college for? What do you want to study?
Well, I've gotten admission in a few universities in the US.
Wow.
About 3, I guess, and one is a global university. So, and I'm still waiting for hearing back from a few IVs also. So I don't know yet, but I'm just sending out those applications, and I'm also prepping for my board exam, which is very crucial for the Indian colleges. So this is a high time for my studies. So that is what I'm doing right now, along with everything. But that is my primary activity during the day. About 9 to 10 hours, I invest in that.
Wow. Yeah, that is a lot. And if you were applying here in universities in the United States, there are a lot of scholarship programs that you can apply for. Okay. And one of the things that our government has done, they are doing forgiveness on student loans. So to make it easy for anybody abroad or even people here that want to study or go to universities. And it's true because, it's tough just to go through college and trying to get your degree. And then if you have to worry about how to pay for it. So one of the things that our government has been coming up with is ways to fund college education, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And if you can go to college and get your degree and know, oh my God, I don't have to worry about all this money that I have to expel just to get my education, I think that's absolutely fantastic. So hopefully you will get into a university here and close by to me or close by to us where we could always help you out. So I'm so glad that you definitely said that. But getting back to the world of pageantry, and I know you've done a lot to promote your title. What advice would you give to other young girls that want to get into the world of pageantry? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that they are perfect the way they are and they need to improve in certain areas. And pageantry sure as hell improves you so much. It makes you into a completely, it enhances your personality to a lot of extent. And those of us who want to be a better person, which all of us do. So what we need to do is we need to take that little bit of a risk, and we need to be who we truly are meant to be. We need to achieve our potential, and pageantry is the key to that. So yes, let's take that risk and let's try to be better versions of ourselves because we are already queens. And yeah, so let's do it. Let's take that risk.
That's right. And I always say that to all my girls, even if they don't win the main title, just by coming into the pageant, you're automatically a winner. You've taken that next step. And when you go for a job, and this is very true, and you have it on your resume that you're Teen International World or Teen International World India, they're going to look very favorable on you because they're going to say, oh my God, she did something a little bit different. Okay. And I think the word that we have to get out to people about pageantry is that we're just not women that parade around in a bathing suit or a gown all day. We have careers. We've changed lives, that we're really involved with women's empowerment. And I'm so proud of all of you ladies, you know, from India, and especially yourself, because you're all doing that. You're showing that who you are. You can be beautiful inside and out, but you can make a difference in the world. Okay. And that is the message you really want to portray. I'm making a difference. Okay. And, you know, when I first started out in pageantry, or even in the entertainment industry, I could tell you, I did not look the way I look now. Oh my God, I was a disaster. Okay. I had my hair to here, this little bow in my hair, nothing of what you see now. But I grew into things, okay, as I learned. All right. And then I got into the cosmetic industry, which totally changed me around. Okay. That was another 30 years of my life. But through that, I was able to help a lot of other women that wanted to go into pageantry. So yes, you have to be yourself, but at the same time, make a difference. So what are another thing I'd like to know about you is, what are your future plans? What, besides going to college, what else would you like to do? And what would you tell our viewers, you know, any words of encouragement that you'd like to give them?
Yes. So my future plans, the big picture plan which I have right now is entrepreneurship. And I aspire to be a businesswoman. And the main reason that I'm so driven towards this, I'm so attracted towards this, is because I believe that if you are at that level, then when you actually shower the gifts, when you give it back to the community,
Yes.
your contribution really makes a difference. That is when you can actually leave your footprint. So you need to rise to that level so that you can make a huge impact. That tremendous impact needs to come, and first of all, you need to get to that level. And business, entrepreneurship, and it's basically a part of my personality. I have been gifted with a sense of inspiration, of that spontaneous, accompanying of ideas, and it is really fun for me. I mean, finding a need and then finding ways to fulfill it. Yes, it's a bit of a risk, but I think it's what I'm meant to do, and pageantry will transform me even further, and
Yes.
it will get me at the best stage individually. You know, as a person, I will grow, and then I will be finally ready with all my equipments to get into the world of business and earn and strive to get as much. My
Yeah.
final words would be, yeah,
Go ahead.
yes, Angela, I was saying something.
No. Go ahead. Finish. When you said, what would your
My
final
final words, yes, okay. My final words would be that pageantry is not, it's not just about how you look. It's about how you carry yourself. It's about that grace, and it's about beauty with brains, in the simple words, in layman language. It's about not only being a model, it's about being a role model. So it's entirely different than what we just, what our first intuition towards pageantry is. It is completely different, and it is more than just beauty.
Yeah, it is. And I agree with you 100%. You know, many, many years ago, I mentored a young girl who wanted to get into pageantry. And she was so shy. When you spoke to her, she actually put her head down. And she was so frightened to get on stage. And I told her, I said, don't be. I said, you've taken your first step. I said, into doing something, I said, very different, and giving yourself a lot of confidence. By me putting her in the pageant, oh my God, it was like opening up a whole new world for her. After that, she won 3 pageants, started her own pageant, and today has her own IT company where she's working with communication companies around the world. And I was just so glad that I was able to give her that start. You're right. We open up a world of opportunities. And also what I want to tell you, which is very exciting, when all of you come to the US and you compete and you will be on board the ship, okay, Bahama Paradise Cruise Line, We have a ship now called Margaritaville at Sea. The part owner and the CEO happens to be from India, O'Neill. And he is so happy about all of you competing in the pageant and coming from India that normally he never goes on a cruise with a group, but he's coming on our cruise. And he just wants to take a picture with all you ladies. So he's just so happy right now. And he was so happy when Akshata won. And the night that Miss Universe won, who was Miss India, oh my God, he texted me at 11 o'clock at night and he says, can you believe this? He said, we got all the winners from India. And I said, yes, we do. So you're definitely going to be have that opportunity. So I know on behalf of O'Neill, I can speak on behalf of him. Congratulations. That's what he would say right now. And he's proud of all of you. So, and I definitely want to say this. It has been a fabulous session. Mehak, you have made my day. I am so impressed with the things that you've said. And I'm going to be doing a special session this Sunday. Okay. So I hope you're going to be on that session as well.
You can count on it. Sure.
Yep, I will be there. I will be doing session 2 of all the ladies that have won and competed. So I will have a chance to really do some mentoring. But I want to thank you so much for being on Make Our World Your Runway. This has been absolutely fantastic. I know you'll be back again. And we are so honored. And I want to welcome you into the United States in July 15th to the 17th, when you will be part of the Miss International World Pageant. So thank you so much for being on our show. And again, congratulations. And we look forward to seeing you in July.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Looking forward.
Thank you. I will see you again. Have a great day and a great weekend. And I hope to see you Sunday. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another wonderful guest, Mehak Sharma, Teen International World. That was a fabulous session. This lady is actually going to set the world on fire. And we are so honored that we're going to see her in July when she competes for the main title of Teen International World. So that wraps up another session of Make Our World Your Runway. We will see you next week, when we will always have an exciting guest from somewhere around the world. Thank you so much. Have a great Friday and a great weekend.